And since we're here talking, Shannon Sharpe and these text messages and the allegations against him, I just want to go on record and say that black men are the real bedwenches of the black community. And over and over and over and over and over and over again, it's proven. I exist in a lot of areas of social media. When it comes to race play behavior, black men, whether they engage with other men, whether they engage with the opposite sex, no matter what they're doing, it is prevalent in kink spaces. Black men, as much as they make it seem as if they're engaging with non-black women in order for some retribution for slavery, no, they are doing slavery reenactments, okay? That's one. Two, we have to find a space to start unpacking how colorism affects the way that men navigate the world, not in regards to how they navigate women due to colorism, but how colorism has affected them and how they lean into specific tropes within how the world navigates them through colorism, and they turn it into a part of their armor and a part of the way that they see a benefit to themselves, and they think because they've done that, they aren't being harmed by colorism. When you look at porn online, there is a huge, huge, huge space of black men who only shoot with white women, who have white husbands who are cucks for them, and they are doing this bull content. And again, because they're the ones polarizing these women, everyone thinks this shit is cute. You are engaging in real-time slavery just for a better check. And having lived in the South and seeing how colorism shows up in the South with darker-skinned black men and the difference, how I'm interpreted as light-skinned to people here in the South. I'm not going to argue with y'all. I do not consider myself to be light-skinned. I have a sister. My sister Katrina is. I have a sister who's light-skinned. I ain't light-skinned, right? Those messages from the jump were, one, it was clear that he was paying a coin to engage with this person, which ain't a problem. I am a huge proponent of many other things that men come to me about are things they should be paying people to do. And I think it's lovely and amazing when y'all are actually engaging with the economy the way you're supposed to when it comes to foolery and when it comes to labor. But it was transactional from the jump. And if it's transactional from the jump, and from the jump, race and all of these other tropes within race foolishness are involved, that for me says that a part of the compensation was you engaging and speaking that way. Yeah. And I would gather, and also that's why he likes younger women. That's why he likes younger women. And the sad part is this lawsuit is likely foolishness. It's the same attorney who was behind the stuff with Jay-Z. And that's not me saying that somebody did something or somebody didn't do something. I'm saying that this attorney is known for conjuring spells, and because it likely will fall dust to the side, people aren't going to dive into. There are pieces of this where someone needs to sit down with Shannon Sharpe and say, you too old for this. Your platform is too large, and you don't look the way that people need to look to get away with some of the behavior you're engaging in. And had you not been someone who, probably because you were in the NFL, people have trained you how to cover your butt, this might have got you. Because 10 seconds later, the white men were on, it was either CNN or somewhere else, and your colleagues were trying to read you about this. So, in closing, race play is very prevalent with black men. Very prevalent. And the very bed wenches that black men purport black women to be when they engage with white men are the bed wenches that they are and they have been. I don't know what was in the secret sauce of slavery that would charge black men to, again, I made that video to be fascinated with whiteness the way that they are. Be fascinated with whiteness the way that they are. But I'll close with, if transness is about to be illegal, and they take gay marriage, go ahead and take loving too. Let it be the Hunger Games out here, because you're gonna gag at the number of black men who are gonna give up their lives for some white checker pudding.
One thing y'all not gonna make me do is miss a Dominique Morgan commentary on TikTok, because sis is always hitting the point exactly of how it needs to be hit. So if y'all did not know, Shannon Sharpe just retired an OnlyFans model. So let's take a trip down memory lane of like what happened with Shannon Sharpe. So he was being sued for essay, I think it was essay, but doing and having race play basically with this white woman. And so they didn't go to court, but we all know that there was a settlement, because a lot of these lawsuits result into y'all see my hair, girl, I am a mess. Okay, anyways, a lot of the girls always settle in Hollywood when it comes to like these type of lawsuits. That's why I'm like, I doubt if we will ever see a jury trial. I mean, Diddy had no choice in the criminal matter, because it was either life or nothing else. He was facing life in prison. And plus that was a criminal matter. But a lot of times in these civil lawsuits, when they're being sued for essay or something of the sort, they're going to settle, because it's a lot less expensive to settle than to litigate and then have all your business, more of your business, basically spilled out into the media streets that could potentially harm your reputation even more, lose out on brand deals, ad deals, commercials, deals, all of these other things that's attached to your name and your what was good reputation. So my good sis on TikTok, she don't know who I am, Dominique Morgan, her commentary is just always tea. So I'm going to put Dominique's commentary in this video at some point. So Dr. Umar got this one thing right when he talks about generational wealth, because literally what Shannon Sharpe just did, he paid this white woman, this 19-year-old, or she was 19 years old at the time. And I'm going to just say, I ain't hating on her. Get your money, sis. A sucker gonna get licked, and that's just what happened with Shannon Sharpe in this situation. And so as far as like, yeah, so she's able to retire from her OnlyFans, live her life, do what she wants to do, and he has now created generational wealth within this white woman and in her white generation and her white family. And so she's gonna go off to get married, have kids or whatever, and they're gonna be living their lives off of the money that she got from this lawsuit settlement from Shannon Sharpe, just because he wanted to dibble and dabble and do some race play. The topic can go deep, right? And a lot of people have a lot of thoughts, but like I said, one thing I'm not gonna miss is a Dominique Morgan commentary. Baby, check this out.
Imagine that Shannon Sharpe just paid this white girl at least $10 million to call him a bushel of niggers. You just wrote her a nasty check. You wrote her a check that is going to actualize generational wealth within her family, because you wanted her to choke you and call you a bag of niggas, because you wanted to be up there raiding her biscuits that you were then going to have to pay to inflate, because you wanted to toss her around like a WWE wrestler. A man who has made it his business to let us know, listen, I ain't trying to have my legacy ruined. I'm not trying to have my bag fumbled. And if my dog is in the front seat and you got a problem with it, you're gonna have to get out the car. That's what he said. But you let Polly Pocket come over there and ransack your doghouse, huh? There are times that I struggle with leaning into this proposition that these men are supposed to be our protectors when they can't protect their own legacy. Y'all keep getting got by bitches who have been doing the same thing since their people stole us and brought us to this land. And yeah, I think it's ridiculous for somebody to think that they pussy can make somebody be a better man. But I think it's even more ridiculous for a man to think his dick can make a bitch a good woman and not be a white supremacist when that's the only legacy that her family has left her. And you, at minimum, have walked through a university for 4 years. I don't know if you were in them people's books, Shannon. I don't know about that. But to be sure, you walked through the halls of a space of higher education. and you still slow. I wish there was a word for deeply melanated black men being enamored with lightness and whiteness. I wish there was some words for that. I wish there was a theory behind that. I wish there was some text that could help us process that. Specifically, deeply melanated black men from the South, from spaces, because I don't even be watching ESPN like that, but your ESPN was at like 30 under 30 or some shit like that, 30 and 30. When me Christian and I were together, I remember watching it and watching the shack that you grew up in and how your grandparents raised you, and you talking about having to go out there to the bathroom and all the shit you fought for you to write a multi-million-dollar check to a white girl so she can call you a nigger. Your grandma and your papa was out there shucking bushels of corn, turning in cans for your livelihood, for you to want babysitter Barbie to asphyxiate you and call you racial slurs. It's a black girl that would have did that for $100. There's a working girl out here who would have gave you a fair price. I said this when I made my initial video. You niggas don't care about gold diggers. Y'all don't want black women to have gold. But you will let a white woman rape and pillage all you've created. Your legacy, your integrity, your image, your bank account, your future. Now, I am not a expert at cooter cats. I did partake in one about 6 months ago. Wasn't a bad experience. Would not write a $10 million check for it. And I say that to say, and that was a black woman. So black women are manifested from excellence and magic and whimsy. So I know white coochie can't be that sickening. And back in the day, y'all used to, white girls letting y'all put it in the backside. Black girls is giving y'all the cakes too. So what's the reason at this point, niece? It's just sad, brother. It's just sad. And Tony Busby, you stay in some bullshit. And also, these niggas make themselves a target, so I can't be too mad at you. But what I do want to close with is, I'm interested in seeing how black men in media will discuss this young woman. I'm interested in how Cameron is going to talk about this young woman on his podcast. I'm interested in hearing how the Breakfast Club is going to talk about this tomorrow. Because there is a assumption of innocence and grace when it comes to white women that is so nefarious and interesting to witness as a black trans woman. It's so nefarious that there are black biological women who think that I'm her number one enemy and will be standing next to a white woman. She will think that I am the biggest danger to her womanhood and the biggest disrespect. My existence is the biggest disrespect to her womanhood, and will be standing next to a white woman. So this is a festive way to wrap up the day. I'm sure more conversations will be had. But yeah, looky here. My God, today. Girls, this niggas out here writing multi-million-dollar checks to be choked out and be called a bag of niggas. I was doing that to my ex-husband for free, bitch. And I'm about to send this nigga an invoice.
So we took a trip down memory lane, and you heard what Dominique Morgan had to say in regards to the whole Shannon Sharpe situation. It's a mess, but it is what it is at the end of the day, because I'm not mad at him. You do what you want with your money. Sis, she got her queen dollars, and that's just what that is. And like I said, all of these lawsuits seemingly result in some sort of settlement versus going to a jury trial. I knew we weren't going to see that. Tony Busby strikes again, because I believe he represented this young lady in this lawsuit. But whatever. My name is Brittany Janae. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this subject matter. Girl, I'm not, it is what it is. Shannon, you know, you should have known better. But and he was into some weird freaky kinky stuff, and it came out to be a real expensive bill. And I'm pretty sure he didn't mind paying it. Okay, because that's just, like I said, there are some people who don't believe in creating generational wealth within our own community, but you just created generational wealth in this woman's, you know, in her community and in her life, and you know, they're gonna be eaten off because of Shannon Sharpe. Anyways, let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this subject matter. Please like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Brittany Janae, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.